Well, dear colleagues, we're about to begin. Our masterclass today is dedicated to mindfulness for fintech teams. Well, what's mindfulness? This is consciousness. In other words, let me explain why we selected this subject. Many years ago, before I joined QIWI, I used to work with Alpha, and this was pre-COVID era, but the challenges were quite serious. We faced crisis. There was a lot of stress, a lot of information constantly coming at us. Things had to be changed, and I didn't have enough time to stop and think. I was very busy. I was jumping through hoops. And I thought of going to a vacation. An extraordinary place. I went to Mexico, Peru, Tibet. I went to places of power and meditated. And it felt good. It cleaned my mind. And I began developing new ideas. And then, jointly with QIWI and Central Bank, we organized the Fintech Association. That's when I got visionary ideas. But then I came back to work. And everything was over. Now, all of the hustle and bustle of everyday routine stressed me out. It was like a different world. These places of power and the meditation. And this was like living two different lives. I didn't know how to deal with it. And I thought, if I cannot deal with this, what about people who don't leave the city? And I began looking for inspiration. I looked at Google. It's a great IT company with fantastic projects. They had an engineer that began implementing self-development practices. It's all about self-intellect. It's about self-development, happiness, and work and life balance. This prevents emotional burnout. And I went to Tokyo to attend his webinars and seminars. And then, at a certain time, after coming back, I realized that ideas are like chewing gum. You are constantly stuck in the past or in the future. You think, what would I have done if things were different? Or you think and worry about the future. And you never think of the moment, of your happiness, of your feelings today. This is very important. And at a certain point in time, back in Alpha, we founded the School of Attentiveness. And these were our first steps. And then later, when I joined QIWI, I realized that QIWI is also very aware of attention, emotional intelligence, and work and life balance. And I would like to give the floor to Alexander Ross Johnson today. We are going to go in dual format today, phygital, part here and part online. So, Alex, I'd like to give you the floor to give us the theory and then go into practice. Thank you. Thank you, Masha. Dear friends, the most important point I'd like to make today is that today, as Masha said, and we all feel that, is complicated, or so it seems at the time. There is lots of turbulence. Things are changing constantly, and we cannot forecast things even for the nearest future. Speaking of the past, we used to always clearly know what we're going to do in 5 years' time, in 6 months' time, in a year's time. But let's be frank, who can say this today? How will things unfold? What events are going to take place? There is so much turbulence in this fast-changing world, and all of these changes are taking place fast, lightning fast. And to feel that speed and to realize what to do, I propose you'll watch this short video. It's about 80 seconds long, dedicated to what dedicated to a certain system we enjoy as organisms. And this system goes through tests, and you are being tested faster and faster by all these changes. We cannot even imagine the speed of these changes at times. Let's take a look at these changes. We're going to watch a short video about F1. F1 was founded back in the 50s, and the rules remain unchanged. There are pit stops, and in pit stops, the pit stop crew runs up, changes wheels, refuels the cars, and the stress, the pressure they are faced with, their reactions. Let's watch this and imagine this as your life. Let's turn it on. Go to the video now.
Так, коллеги, удается подключить?
Ролик идет.
Lumore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch.
Правила одни и те же, коллеги. Надо быстро.
The rules are the same, dear colleagues. You need to quickly change the tires, refuel the vehicle, and that's why the best crewmen are selected. Alex, do you think they'll make it on time until we finish the session? Before we finish? Well, they should.
A crewman polishes the windshield as Holland moves away just 67 seconds after he stopped.
Коллеги.
Dear colleagues, that's all. Just imagine we are at Finapolis, and this is the place that selects where the best are gathered. It's similar to what takes place in Formula One, and similar to our lives. You need to be on time. And today, AI is another factor. Things speeding up is not, and it's not just about reacting, it's about thinking and being conscious of the change. When we first began working with attention and we began implementing it into corporate life, we realized that the methods existing today, they're very functional. You can breathe in, practice your breathing yoga, and mindfulness is all about meditation. Sit down, take a breath, use breathing techniques. But as Masha said, you can unwind in the mountains, at the seaside, meditate in a monastery, in the cave, but try doing it here. Try doing it before the meeting.
And it was quite complex. And the fact that we started introducing this is not exactly the practice. It's introducing practice inside our life and finding balance between work and life. And it's an effective tool. And we see that the effective tool is not finances or information, though recently it's believed to be so. But the major resource is attention. And how we are able to focus is important. It's the vital thing. But the interesting fact here is that when you work with your awareness, with your attention, there is the central apparatus here is our nerve system, and how you are capable of adjusting your nerve system is important. And you should be able to concentrate here and now, because you can start having rest when you're absolutely exhausted. So you should be able to pull your forces, but you should be able to concentrate. And how you can concentrate? You observe your nerve system, your state. So you observe it like in physics, and you introduce serious changes in the experiment. And this is the major idea which we use in a number of corporations who were ready to use it, and we should thank them for helping us to practice this. And we realized that we were right. You should not just more meditate separately, but actually you should be able to be attentive to yourself, to listen to your nerve system while you concentrate. And the structure of our lessons is the following. It's divided into 2 equal parts. The first part is attention to yourself. You observe what you're doing, you observe what your nerve system, how your nerve system reacts, what you feel. You should feel your body, you should feel your emotions and understand them. You should observe your thoughts, and it helps you to calm down. Your nerve system relaxes, your emotions become more controlled. So in this case, not your emotions drive you, but actually you can control your emotions, and you can do this by accepting them, and they influence on the way of your thinking. So thus you should work on yourself, on your nerve system. And the second part is, as far as I concentrate, I'm able to see what is happening around us. And it's important for leaders, it's important for the teamwork, and there are a lot of tools which we propose, but they are all based on attention, on concentration, and concentration is vital here. The concentration, your concentration, the concentration of your team, concentration of big systems which always influence us. And we have these tools, and when we redistribute attention, which we focus on us and which we focus around, helps us to find the balance. And now we just describe it in short. It's a sort of a teaser, like for the film. But I think if guys share their experience and tell you about this, focusing on yourselves through practice, it would be more understandable. But actually, it doesn't matter what exercises you use, but it's important to control your nerve system. And there are a lot of different exercises. As Birbank uses the entire course of lectures devoted to this. QIWI also use these exercises to focus on yourself, to concentrate. And when it happens, when they master the skill, we introduce new tools. And I think guys from QIWI will tell you what kind of tools we use, and then we can practice certain exercises. Okay, Dima, the floor is yours. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dmitry Slavyev. I do research in QIWI, and we had a course of lessons which was devoted to managers. We studied vertical structure, and actually we didn't only study concentration and mindfulness. And Sasha was the moderator of that course, as well as our second moderator. And we used the resource here, but I think resource actually is outdated word. People are not a resource, they're assets. And I think the major thing here is people's condition, because you can teach them hard skills, but their condition is something which business started thinking about not long ago. If you take any financial conference, let's suppose the one which took place 10 years ago, you didn't think about mindfulness, you didn't think about concentration. Maximum you could hear is just have some rest, have a vacation. Nobody was able to work with this, and I think there are still few who focus on this. And talking about this course and why we decided to discuss this is because we provide such a chance to discuss this topic. We do not try just to conceal our complex state. Actually, we discuss it, and it helps us to develop collective concentration. If you want to focus on something, you need to understand that there is something you should focus on. And when you speak about this, you understand that people develop in different ways. They can have different states. And also you get certain tools to control your state. And actually there are different tools. And I can remember that the tools which we can use, which people often ignore, is the body. Actually, it's intellect connected to the Zoom. This is what we have now after the pandemic situation. And actually, people wouldn't see any difference if there is picture on or there is no picture. That's why we can't even tell the difference between AI and humans, because we don't focus on the body. But body is something which we use to think. And it's a redistributed nerve system. It's important if you have had rest or you had sport, if you are sleepy or you are awake. All this influences your productivity, your performance. Stress is accumulated, and stress seriously influences our focus. And I think it seriously influences our communication as well, because everybody has its own reaction on stress. Some people freeze, others haste to do something, and understanding how people react on stress is very important, because it helps you to work in team effectively, because work in team is linked to stressful situations, especially when you know how your colleagues react on stress influences how you solve the problems with your team, and it influences success. And it's also about leadership, because all of us can be some formal or informal leaders, and even if you are not a manager, still you can be a leader. For example, in the team of smokers in your company, and people have a look at your condition, and even if you think that you are fine, that you are stress resistant, but still you feel worried inside, people can read it by your nonverbal signs, and you might snap or you might say something and people feel it, and they also absorb such feelings. Actually, it's possible people can feel relaxed when you are relaxed, but they can be stressed when you are stressed. So thus your condition influences other people as well. And they say that you should help your team first. Actually, it's also important. When we talk about some uncertainty which takes place in your company or in your country, in your life, you should be able to feel certain state to be able to talk about this. And when you think why you need this, you act not reactively, but actually you act proactively. And you think what is good for you, for your life, for your company, for the whole world. So these are the ideas which come to my mind. Maybe let's do some practice. Okay. Let's try to use Dima's experience. He mentioned the inner center. So everything which happens around us, it's just outside. But if we want to act with the outer world, we need to feel the center inside us. It's quite simple. Please sit down. Your back should be straight and move to the edge of the seat. So you should not lay with your back on the back of the seat, but actually you should sit with a straight back and imagine that a balloon is tied to your head. And relax your body, but your head should be straight. And observe how you breathe, but don't influence it. Just observe your breathing. Breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. You can open your eyes or you can close your eyes as you wish. You just feel this. Breathe in, pause, breathe out, pause. And please observe your condition in real time, what is happening right now, at this moment. Please relax a little bit, loosen your tension inside you if you feel this tension. And if some thoughts pop up in your head, it's fine. Just observe them, don't focus on them. And now, just don't be distracted. Just observe your breathing. Your body starts relaxing gradually, and you should feel it. Your face is relaxed.
Голова в целом.
Your cheekbones are relaxed. Your neck is relaxed. Your shoulders are pulled down. Breathe out and imagine that you release your tension as if you release the balloon. Let it go. Relax your body. Relax your chest, your abdomen, your back, the small of your back.
Расслаблены руки, левая рука изнутри. Просто почувствуй.
Your arms are relaxed. Your left hand, your right hand. Can you feel that? Don't think of anything, just feel it. Your head is relaxed, your body is relaxed, your whole upper body is relaxed. And gradually you let go of your legs. They are relaxing from your buttocks, from your hips down to your knees. Your feet are relaxed down to your knees, and now from your knees to your feet. Attention inside of you. We can witness our breathing and our body right now, this moment.
И сейчас.
And now, very well. And perhaps you feel more quiet inside, more relaxation. Breathe in, breathe out.
Выходим из практики. Спасибо, друзья.
And now we are going outside of this state. And as I mentioned before, it's very important to feel yourself, to be in touch with yourself at any level. You may be a grandmaster, you may be a yoga practitioner, a jogger, because jogging is very meditative, but it's important for you to have this primate understanding of what is happening to you, not the changes, mind you, not the pumping up, but observation, comprehension, and this attention will change with what is happening to your body. And all of the business schools today are based on this principle, that first of all you reverse the attention onto you, to your somatics, to your body, and this will directly determine your health, your emotional and your mental processes. So observation, and only then echo management. As soon as we learn that, changes take place. And what are the changes? I begin seeing not just myself, but others too. What's happening to them? And there is a huge context, huge body of information that can be collected. As soon as you get this information, you can work with it. This interaction is important. We mentioned interacting with self, interacting with people. I'm a different person, and there are rules. Once you focus, you realize the rules, and then you can begin learning the dynamics of contacting others, of influencing others, and how does the group interact with people, how departments interact in a company. This should be seen and can be seen. It should be named, recognized, and then changes come. Only then. Well, guys, I'd like to ask you, if possible, to use some examples out of this huge arsenal that we are developing now. Certainly there is lots to strive for, but what did work out of the arsenal we tried before? Response. Well, certainly there are many practices. It's important to work not just with self, but also with a team. And in my experience, the shareholders once said we need to improve performance. And I saw team resistance. People would leave the meetings. Just imagine people walking out of the meetings in corporate. They were running around complaining about me, this doesn't need to be done. And what happens in an ordinary situation? You either say, you're all mad, you don't understand, or it needs to be done, or you go to the shareholder and complain, say, these guys don't want to do anything, please push them. Or you go to the CEO or the general manager. So I could have done that. But no, what we did was, we tried to understand what's happening. We try to make them understand why it is important for them. What is happening to me? And after some time, we began working with a team, and it turned out that this is not the context of understanding certain people, but this is a case of a company that feels if process is described thoroughly, this is too much red tape, and the company won't be able to restructure quickly and lose its identity. And it was part of the company DNA. As soon as the company tried to put things down on paper, they faced a dead end. And only as soon as we went through this, we realized the emotions. All of the people who used to leave, they came back and said, Maria, can you put the process down on paper? And I said, what? Certainly, it wasn't easy. It would have been easier to go to the shareholder and ask him to pressure the team. But basically, we need to understand what's happening to us. We're trying to solve a problem, not a work problem, but a problem that is connected at the higher level of organizations. So this is an example,
более правильно, чем там рушить отношения, уходить, там ругаться.
and it's important to do that and not to ruin the relationship, not to argue. We need to come to a single mind in the energy field. It was a discovery for me as well. We only have 11 minutes left. Perhaps we can try something else. Very well. Yes, let's try that. Very briefly, I'd like to comment on what Maria said. Very important story with problems. There are problems between units, between people in the team. And what you call self-tuning is an art, but it's an art of nervous systems. There are rules that regulate it, and primary thing we have to take note, we have to understand it, see it, and accept it, not fight it, not try to force it, try to force anyone to do anything, but we need to tune in, see it, and then actually new solutions for the problems that used to seem absolutely unsolvable. So this is co-tuning of your nervous systems. And how is it done? This is done through practice. I'll ask you to do the following exercise. Please try to record, to understand everything you see around you in the next 60 seconds. Everything you feel, everything around you. Try to be conscious of that, understand that, people, processes. But don't forget about yourself, how you feel, what's happening with you. Try to do that. Standard, familiar ways.
Хорошо. Отлично. Это эксперимент, друзья. Это эксперимент. Сейчас мы с вами попробуем
That is an experiment, guys. And now we're going to try to interact with all the processes inside of us and outside across practice. How are we going to do that? Now I'm going to ask you to practice for a minute. You are going to need to feel your feet, your right foot and your left foot. Sit up straight, please. The same way we did early on, and it's not difficult. Friends, try to physically feel your right and left foot. You're alive, your body is working, your lymphs, your blood is running, your nervous system is working, and now you can feel your feet, your right foot and your left foot. And now you feel either pressure, either expansion, compression, feeling both feet.
И сейчас, наблюдая стопы,
And now, watching the feet, feeling the feet, a bit more attention to your body. Try to fit your whole body. You feel the feet, and you see a reflection. Don't fight it. Feel your feet and your whole body from top down. Your feet, your calves, your hips from the inside, they're filling with attention. Your feet, your calves, your hips.
ягодицы, низ живота, поясница.
Then the back, then your waist, your body, your arms.
Через выдох отпускайте напряжение, если замечаете. Стопы.
Your feet, your body, your neck.
Все тело. Внимание внутри.
Focus on the inner self. And now you feel the spring welling inside. You feel your whole body. And being inside, on the inside,
Все звуки, которые есть. Ближе.
you feel all the sounds, close and far away.
Внутри попадает все, что вы слышите.
Everything you see inside, everything you feel, part of your attention in the body.
И вы слышите звуки.
And you feel the sounds. Focus on yourself.
Часть внимания в теле. Слышите звуки.
You listen to yourself. You hear the sounds. And you see a picture. Don't look around, but you're inside. And these things inside of you are reflecting, like on screen. The things, their positioning, their cross-positioning, colors, light. Try to stay inside, center. Center is inside of you. The picture of what you see has dimensions, width, height. Everything is reflecting. Try to remain inside. Your feet, your body, and just feel it. On the right of you, there is a space. There are people. Just feel it. You have a feeling. Don't name it, but you have a feeling inside of you, to the right of you. Very good. Well done. Feel what you are feeling, and then you see on the left there is a feeling. And it's different. A different person is there, different space.
И сейчас сделайте, пожалуйста, выдох и
And now breathe out and just be conscious. Be conscious of everything around you. See it. Watch it. Feel it. Based on yourself. Center on yourself inside.
And you breathe in, breathe out, feel your body, then now finish your practice. Now look difference. Usually you can imagine certain image, you can see that there are certain objects surrounding you and there are some people, you can hear certain sounds, and you can develop this awareness, and this awareness influences your processes. You can feel what is happening, and it can help you to act further. That's how it works. Sasha, thank you very much. This practice helps me at some difficult meetings, especially when there is some criticism. Well, you just focus on this criticism and you feel at a loss. But when I concentrate on myself, when I am calm, I can feel it. I better understand what he says, and actually I just focus on his words, not his emotions. And we just have a couple of slides left before we finish this session. What I would like to mention is that if you want to keep in touch with your fintech team, you should build a neural net, and neural net is based on what you feel. If you have different feelings, emotions, if you're in stress, you cannot help your team. So first you need to cope with your emotions, and then you should help your team to cope with their emotions. And this practice is needed not only to cope with stress and understand better what is happening, but it also focuses on creativeness. It helps you to calm down, to feel stillness, and thus it helps you to concentrate better, and you have insights, you get certain awareness, and you don't need to go to Tibet, you don't need to go to the seashore, you just can find these resources inside you. So you don't need 20 years of meditation to practice this. You can start here and now. If this topic is interesting for you, if you want to continue dealing with mindfulness, here you can see our contacts, Sasha's contacts, my contacts, so you can contact us and you can join our programs. Programs which are held by Alexander or our programs. So join us now, it's for free. Thank you for your attention, and thank you, Dmitry, and I hope you had good practice, and I wish success to your teams. Thank you.